Mark Hall joins me now, Head of Sustainable Farming for Europe, Africa, Middle East for Syngenta, seed crop protection, and also you have 370 hectares in Bedfordshire.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wow, Mark. I mean, can I start just by asking you about that? Because a lot of the conversation, and Tasso was there talking about Brazil, the Amazon and deforestation, planting trees and hedges, that was part of the conversation. It's great to have farmers and other voices in the room to hear about this, but you're doing some of that yourself.
Yeah, we decided that when we took on the farm that there wasn't a lot of biodiverse features on the farm. It was a collection of fields with some buildings in the middle. And in actual fact, there were some very good features in other parts that we could connect together. They weren't necessarily ours, but we stood in the middle of them. And so we decided to build a wildlife corridor of trees and hedges in order to connect two large forest areas together. So we've worked with the local government actually we've planted 36,000 trees and 3.6 kilometres of hedges in order to make that connection. So I've taken some land out of production, which actually works okay for us. It's not a big money earner, but it actually enables us to build the diversity in one area and to make sure that we're farming really sustainably in other areas and still maintain our profitability by doing all of those pieces together.
It's such a juggling act, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
As you say, I take this out and it's not too bad in terms of, bottom line.
Yeah.
But of course, we know that biodiversity, if we think how it's shrinking, if we think how important it is for the pollinators, it's so important that you put that back for long-term survival.
Yeah.
And without long-term survival, we're not making any money off the land anyway.
No, that's right. And, we are trying to develop the health of the soil at the same time because that is part of the entire system. The biodiversity of the tree area actually connects to the soil area. And in fact, we've also put some flowering strips in to encourage pollinators next to the tree areas as well. So we can see how that linkage potentially encourages what we're really trying to develop, which is the health of the soil to give us a long-term productivity gain in a way that also helps us to reduce some of the synthetic inputs that we're putting on.
And soil quality has been focused on today because it is so important within this debate for sustainability.
Yeah.
Also, Tasso, and he was there talking about Brazil in your session, was saying we talk about the Amazon as the lungs of the world when we think about carbon dioxide, but also he said it's the shower. It's the shower for the world. So again, these are important parts of the debate and the facts and the evidence that we have to pull in to drive policy, to drive action, which I think we all agree needs to happen and needs to happen fast.
Yeah, unlike the Amazon, if I go back to the home experience, one of the other reasons for putting those trees in is to build diversity in a semi-urban environment. We are very close to a town and we see the impact that a lot of people have on some of the wildlife features that we've got in that semi-urban environment. And so if we can encourage this while we are occupying the land, there will be some of it eventually developed, but we hope that we can hold on to some of that biodiversity as land around it is gradually developed. So we can try and encourage biodiversity in actually a semi-urban environment.
Really interesting.
Let's see how the results pay out.
Well, sure. I mean, I guess it's been an interesting process because you said we'd have to work with the council. When we talk to farmers, the cooperation, it's fragmented, isn't it? We're all pulling in different directions to an extent.
Yeah.
That's an issue, right?
Yeah, I think at the minute I see there's too much them and us, and we hear that in some of the tones of what people have said today, and we actually saw it in the demonstration that happened in that session. I think there is a reason and a need to explain what we're doing, but also to help open the minds of everybody to the technologies and the way that agriculture is developing itself to be more sustainable. No farmer, I don't want to impact the environment. I want to leave my farm in a better condition than I got it in. And I don't believe that there are many farmers that don't want to do the same thing. But we have to explain that to the broader, now majority urbanised population in a much more convincing manner.
So there's more work to do.
There is a lot.
With your hat of head of sustainable farming for Syngenta on, does that give you a voice? Does that give you a platform? How does that develop the debate? What was the message you gave to the forum today?
Well, that we're not a company that's set out to bring technology at any cost. We are a company that is genuinely interested and investing money in developing a form of agriculture, systems of agriculture that are appropriate to individual farming locations. We cannot necessarily just call regenerative agriculture a system that is right for everybody, because every single farm is different. But we have to be able to bring technology that is appropriate, but give growers the tools to help them understand what it can bring and what it doesn't necessarily bring to their individual situation. And that means that we can create new sustainable farming technologies, but we have to be able to deliver them in a way that is intuitive, is easy, is simple, and they really understand the value of those. So I tried to get over the point of merging what I'm doing on my home farm with what I'm doing in Syngenta in trying to develop some of those technologies with other parts of the business, with research and development, with digital ag. It's a really fantastically interesting and quite exciting place to be in the company right now. It is, Europe is a difficult market, and we know it is going to get more difficult. But we also have good confidence in the capabilities of our people to generate these new services and new offers, and to help growers who are genuinely interested in finding better ways to farm.
What struck you finally from the panel today? We had the minister, we had those that would speak about water. It is an expert panel that pulls together. So what really struck you? What resonated in your panel at the forum today?
Well, actually, there's broad agreement between, there were two people there, one from the Nature Conservancy, one from, from Cargill, where there was broad alignment on the fact that we need to encourage growers, that growers are going to be the ones that can drive this, but we need to give them the sort of advice and the ability to make a profit in order to provide the public services as well as the food that we need and want, and the types of food that we need and want as well. And
Syngenta is a founding part of this forum, so does it still have relevance? Does it still have resonance? Is the lens and the viewpoints and the debates, the Fixing Tomorrow Today is our theme this year. How important is it, Mark, very finally?
I think it's probably more important than ever. The debate is getting stronger, and the debate is getting more polarised, and we must not shy away from having that debate and bringing our side of the story to a public environment, and the forum allows that to happen.
Mark Hall, thank you very much.
Thank you.